Asesinos de mujeres y de niños, sionistas, asesinos de mujeres y de niños, porque Gaza también es mi casa, porque Gaza también es mi casa.
¿Saben lo que hace Israel en Gaza? Se supone que en Gaza hay terroristas, es lo que dicen ellos. En realidad, lo único que hace Israel es mantenerlos en el campo de concentración al aire libre más grande de la historia. 1.5 millones de personas encerradas, matan a los pescadores, matan a los agricultores bajo el pretexto del terrorismo. ¿Pero cuál es el terrorismo? El terrorismo es colonizar una tierra que no les pertenece. Y es lo que hace Israel desde hace 64 años. Israel ni siquiera debería existir. Israel es un estado ficticio. Israel es la colonización europea de la Unión. Lo único que hacen es asesinar gente inocente y utilizan el holocausto para aparecer las víctimas. Siempre aparecen las víctimas, pero no son más que unos asesinos. Israel es sinónimo de asesinato. Israel es sinónimo de terrorismo. Es para lo único que sirven, para hacerse las víctimas. Pero hay unas cuantas personas como las que estamos acá y más personas en todo México que sabemos que Israel es el estado terrorista por excelencia. Son las perras de Estados Unidos. Y les prometo que aquí en México en todo caso nos vamos a hacer cargo de que los sionistas no puedan tener una vida tranquila. Que no pueden tener una puta vida tranquila.
When we came, there were people outside demonstrating. What do you feel as an Israeli when you see these people shouting death to Israel, Israel is the bitch of the United States and all that?
First of all, I'm not taking it personally, because you need to understand when there is a fight or when there is a war, there are people who are trying, to use slogans. This is part of it. It's like if you search in the Facebook or in the internet, you will find all kinds of terms like this. And many times I'm just trying to look who is standing behind those phrases, and maybe some people are paying for that, for this kind of participation, and etc. So first of all, I'm not offended personally. Second, I can tell you as an Israeli diplomat here, this is the first demonstration we are having almost after 1 week of fighting in Israel and Gaza. So it means that the Mexicans don't really think that Israel is the cause for that parliament. If after 1 week they found only 20 people to come and demonstrate and say what they think, so I think the situation is not that bad in all, this huge country that named Mexico. If there are only 20 people coming to demonstrate after 1 week,
it's okay.
It's not okay, but I can live with that in peace, and I'm not taking it personally.
We see the president of Egypt declared that tomorrow the conflict in Gaza will be over.
I think even before tomorrow, he was speaking till midnight. Not midnight in Mexico, but midnight in the Middle East.
And so are we now in a moment where there will be a ceasefire?
We don't know for sure if there will be a ceasefire, but what I can promise is that for sure they are working very hard. Egypt, Turkey, Tunis, the European Union, the United States. Hillary Clinton is now in Israel, as well as Ban Ki-moon is arrived to the area. So everybody is trying to negotiate in order to arrive for an agreement.
What are the benefits of an agreement for Israel? Because a lot of people say, no, go ahead, invade Gaza.
We have to define between two things. The first is that this will not be the first agreement, and all the previous agreement after a few months were over, and the Hamas was firing missiles again towards Israel. What we wish now is to achieve a peaceful agreement for the next few years. Not that in 2 months or 3 months it will start all over again, but it will achieve quiet for the next few years.
And what would you answer to someone who says that this is a maneuver of Netanyahu to win votes for the election?
Benjamin Netanyahu is doing a maneuver in order to win the election. I think they totally don't understand the situation in Israel, because no one will vote for a prime minister that purposely put not only the army but all the people of Israel under fire just in order to win the elections. And I'm sorry to say, we are not that stupid. So if he really wants to win the election, he should bring peace, not war. So this should be, and this is what I think he's trying to do now by achieving a good agreement, a peaceful agreement to finish this fighting and maybe to win some peaceful years and not months in the area.
Okay, well, how has been the reaction of the Mexican government through this crisis?
In the minute that this crisis happened last Thursday, my ambassador had a meeting with the foreign minister here in Mexico, and actually after that meeting there was an announcement by the foreign ministry here in Mexico that Mexico is denying any kind of violence, also against the people in Israel, and what's the firing missiles against Israel. So the message by the Mexican government was very balanced, and they are very interested in what's happening, but they are very balanced. They are reading, they're asking very smart questions, and if needed, I'm sure they will be happy to assist us even to get a peace, or not a peace agreement, but an agreement to finish this crisis.
How has been the reaction of the Mexican media?
The Mexican media till now was as well very balanced. The three big newspapers, Reforma, El Universal, Excelsior, they were not only balanced, I think even in favor of Israel. La Jornada was surprising till yesterday because it was also very balanced, the reports coming from Israel and Gaza. So till now, I think the journalists and the media in Mexico, they understand the situation in Israel very well, and they understand that in this case Israel was not the first one to bomb Gaza, the Israeli army was waiting and was sitting very quietly for a very long period of time, suffering missiles on our population, and they didn't react. But there was a time that we couldn't sit quietly anymore and that we had to define our civilians. Now, I think also that the media in Mexico understand that, let's say that 100% of the targets that the IDF, that the Israeli army is attacking in Gaza Strip, those are legitimate targets. Those are either government or military targets. And if civilians are there, it's only because they are using the civilians as a human shield. And fortunately for us, the Mexican media understands that. So it's not only balance, I even say that it's in the favor of Israel.
Wonderful. And how do you think Mexico will vote in the next round of the resolution in the United Nations when the Palestinians will ask for to upgrade their status?
I think nobody can know till this minute because everybody is waiting to see what kind of agreement is going to be between the Hamas and Israel. So in the minute that we'll see that agreement, that there will be a ceasefire, ask me again and I will tell you how Mexico is going to vote. It all depends on the agreement. If there is an agreement and what's in this agreement.
Now, also there is that theory that Iran provoked the conflict in Gaza because today there was the news that the organization of an international organization of atomic energy are very worried about Iran getting very close to the bomb, to the nuclear bomb. What do you think of that theory?
I don't think it's a theory, I think it's true.
It's true.
It's true, because we all know that Iran is giving weapons to Hamas in Gaza Strip. And we know exactly how it goes. It goes from Iran to Sudan in Africa, and from Sudan it arrives to Gaza Strip. There are tunnels from the Sinai Desert going inside the Gaza Strip with weapons. And we know that this is an Iranian weapon. As well, the Hezbollah in Lebanon said that Hamas is having weapon from Iran. Now, Iran knows that it's under focus now, that it's reaching very close to a nuclear bomb, so it needs some kind of distraction. And what kind of distraction that the focus can be against Israel and not in favor of Israel? Let's bomb Israel from the Gaza Strip with Iranian weapons. And this is what we are saying all the time. We are not afraid that we are afraid that Iran will have a nuclear weapon. But we are more afraid that this nuclear weapon will find its way to Gaza Strip or to Lebanon with the Hezbollah. And this crisis now actually proves what we are saying all the time. Don't give nuclear weapon to Iran, because all the other weapons they are giving to Gaza Strip through Sudan or through Hezbollah in Lebanon. And the next time it might be not even a nuclear weapon, it can be a dirty weapon, which is worse enough if it will bomb Israel. And this is what we have to stop. So this is not a theory, this is a real threat on Israel. And this thing we have to stop, and we have to stop now. That's why it's so important for us to reach an agreement that we say Hamas has to stop firing towards Israel, not in the next 2 or 3 months, but for the next years, so it not be able to use later more dangerous weapons coming from Iran.
And why is the United States against a ground invasion?
I think that you have to understand that when you start a ground invasion, you start a war. And it's going to last not 1 day or 2 days, it's going to last 4 weeks. So nobody wants it to happen. So that's why everybody is trying to negotiate for agreement before the last option will be to use our army in a ground invasion. This is it. It's very simple. I think everybody who knows a little bit history knows in the minute that you use not only aircraft or your boat from the sea, but you use a ground invasion, it's going to take weeks. And nobody wants that.
Is it safe to go to Israel now?
Depends where you go, and I think you should find it very interesting. But I was very happy to see that many people from Mexico didn't delete their traveling to Israel.
The WISO organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
They went, yes.
Yes, I know a few people that had meetings or they wanted to go to Israel for the reason, and they say, even though we are going to Israel because there are many areas that still we can travel, and in other areas we are very sure that the Israeli can give us the right, let's say, they will keep us safe.
Protection, yes.
No, not only protection, but they will keep us safe. If we'll do like Israelis, because Israelis continue living a normal life. They go to work, kids are going to school, etc. So if the Israelis can, we can as well.
And do you have a message to our Jewish community?
That I think what I need right now is the help of the community in the social networks, in the Facebook, in the internet, to write the real picture of what's going on in Israel, and not to write only, slogans, but a real description. How is it to live in Israel? What is the situation between Israel and the Gaza Strip? That may help us a lot.
But in that case, we need information. How can we get this information?
You have on our website as well on our Facebook. But I don't want you also to use the formal governmental information. I want to use your experience from being in Israel. Because everybody, when you talk from your own experience, it sounds different. If I speak many times, people may say I'm speaking in slogans. That's why I want the Jewish community to speak from its own experience. It sounds much better and much more convenient to everybody to believe to that.
Thank you.